Hey guys, I thought I'd do an update, not so much an update, but a tutorial on how to use the Gyromite Famicom converter. Uh, we got these and I finally did get a Famicom cart, the Metal Storm. But if there's one thing I learned after getting it was that this was going to be more of a pain to play than to just have. Uh, so let me show you the first thing that I noticed. You take off the next little Famicom chip that has a game that nobody cares about. And let's say you want to play your Metal Storm. So the first thing you got to do is you try to put it on there, but as you can see, son of a, it's just too, it's too big. This is too big, not this. This is too big, and this is too small to fit on top of it. So instantaneously, you automatically notice this isn't working like the internet said it would. And you're just like, great, I blew my $20 on this Famicom converter and it can't even fit the game in there. So what do you have to do in order to get this to work with this so you can play it on one of those Nintendos that you have laying around that isn't a Famicom, which is extremely expensive and totally not worth it? Well, what you do is you go out and you go into your garage or your workspace or whatever the hell you want to call it, and you grind off those nasty tabs. You say, go to hell, you tabs. And you might have to grind off a little bit more, depending on how wide this card is. Now, for me, it was about a millimeter or two off of each end. Now, as you can see, I hope this doesn't go into fuzzy mode, but as you can see, there is quite a bit of plastic before you actually get to the actual pin connectors. So don't worry about grinding off the pin connections while you're at it. It's just not going to happen. Because unless you go crazy, you're not going to grind off the actual pins. And plus, like I said, you only need about a millimeter or two on each side, which isn't a lot. For you guys who only know American measurements, that's about 2 fractions of an inch or something. I'm terrible. I don't even understand the inches as well as I should. But anyways, yeah, just grind off the tab and then grind off about a millimeter on each side. Now, depending on how much of a millimeter you have to grind off, you are going to have to figure that out, or how many millimeters you got to grind off in order for it to fit in the car. Because look, even though you might be able to grind off these tabs, or you might first be able to think, oh, well, I don't have to grind off those tabs. Your cart will slide on here, but you will not get a full pin connection like how these do. They sink in, and bam, they're on there, ties the snare drum. Get them on there. See, they sink in pretty deep, and there's no way this is going to go that deep without being like that. You automatically can see how those tabs will be in the way. So you gotta grind off them tabs, and you most certainly have to grind off that extra millimeter of plastic in order for it to fit snugly, securely, and to make sure you get a complete connection. So now we got our thing grinded down. So how do we play the game? So you have to take the label side, have it facing the wall, or in this case away from the resistor or transistor or whatever you want to call it, away from the microchip. How about that? Just there, and you can see where here's those tabs. It's like at the beginning of the tab. It's just, you don't have to remove the whole tab, but you have to remove enough of it for it to not sink in. So there you go. That's how you get your Famicom converter to actually work. I know I've never seen it or heard of it having to do this for it, but if you don't do it, it won't work. So I don't know why these important things were not listed on a bunch of these people who show off the Famicom converter card. I guess because they never had a Famicom game in their collection. So here you go. Just grind off those tabs, grind off a millimeter off of each side, and bam, it'll fit snugly and securely on there. And I'm going to say it fits pretty snug. There's barely any gap. So there we go. That's how you do it. Simple as that. So there you go. Now, it won't change the Japanese and the English, and it won't do a bunch of other things, but it will allow you to play those Famicom games. So there you guys go. Go get one and go start playing some Famicom games without needing a Famicom.